Now we're talking about the ESMO scale for clinical actionability of molecular targets, or ESCAT as it's known, and here with me is Professor Fabrice André. Thanks for joining us, and also Dr. Rodrigo Dienstmann. So first of all, Professor André, what is the scale?
Before talking about the scale, it's important to put it in the context. So right now we can do multi-gene sequencing for patients. We sequence the cancer, and we report to patient doctors a list of genomic alteration for which there are drugs that match the alteration. But there is no scale to prioritize this alteration, meaning when the patient receives a report, you can have 10, 5, or 15 genomic alterations, but it's difficult for the patient, the doctor, to know what is high impact and what has no impact at all. And because of that, it's difficult to choose the right treatment and, more importantly, to speak the same language, because everyone has a different interpretation of the genomic alteration. So ESCAT is a scale that ranks genomic alteration from the highest relevance, meaning highest benefit for the patient, until a genomic alteration that is not validated.
Excellent. And there are other scales, there are other ratings, aren't there? There's a jungle of other ratings.
Exactly. There have been many different efforts to try to match gene and drugs and different scales, but they were unique efforts from different reference institutions, and they were used internally but not really widespread use. And they really gave a report that is mainly for experienced clinicians and not for, again, the community oncologists and not for clinical laboratories that are doing next-gen sequencing. So it's very important with the ESCAT scale that we do have a very user, patient and clinician-centered report and actions that you have to take when you get a different gene-drug match.
Okay, and so how will the scale, do you think, affect the way that treatment is given?
What we hope, so first we hope that the majority of stakeholders will endorse the scale. This is important, because of course if the scale is not used, it will not have any impact. Second, we hope that any multi-gene sequencing for patients will have in its report for each alteration the scale, the ranking. What is going to be the impact? First, the patient will understand what he or she can expect from the sequencing and the treatment. Second, it will avoid what we are doing sometimes. It's giving a drug that is matched to genomic alteration, but the genomic alteration is not very relevant. So we hope that by having this scale is going to avoid doctors to give drugs in front of genomic alteration that do not have any impact. So we hope it's going to increase the value of the sequencing per patient, because we will just give the drug that is important. And here I want to say that we are really here in the mission of ESMO, is to help the oncologists to endorse and to implement modern molecular medicine, and this is one of the mission of ESMO.
I was going to say, what needs to happen now to get this scale adopted? It's a very sort of political, lobbying, educational task.
Exactly. Yeah, that is, we have to spread our voice. First, definitely workshops, training clinicians in the medical community about the scale, about its use, how it can impact in clinical practice, and then obviously, as Fabrice was telling, we have to talk to laboratories that report next-gen sequencing results, hospitals, clinical trials. Many clinical trials with precision medicine can also apply the scale when reporting the results, and then we hope, again, it's a common vocabulary that is used across the globe.
I hope so too. I hope it gets picked up. Thank you very much, both of you, for telling us about it.
Thank you.